Hello, my name's Harmony Pachuca, and I am reviewing uDIG, which is an open source GIS program. So this is a review for GIS 393. uDIG stands for U, which means user-friendly. It's a familiar user interface to GIS users. It's desktop located, so it runs natively on Windows, Mac operating systems, and Linux. So that's one of the reasons I chose uDIG, because I wanted to run it on my Mac. So that was one of my criteria. The other I stands for internet oriented, so it uses some of the standard geodata from WMS and WFS and WPS, as well as KML and other geospatial web services. And G stands for GIS ready, providing a framework on which complex analytical capabilities can be built, eventually adding those capabilities into the main application. So similar to open source work, people are always doing different programs. It's programmed in Java, so that's where if you know Java, you'll be able to add in more different capabilities. And as those capabilities, they work out the bugs, they will bring it into their application. So that's what I learned from their startup website. It's a company named Refractions, and they're based in Canada. And this is their website. So it's pretty easy to download it. Here's the download button. It kind of talks you through there. They also have some tutorials about how to run certain things. There was a need to install some other different plugins or frameworks, so that's something you would have to do to run the program on your computer. But they do talk you through that, so you can figure that out pretty well. So once it's installed, it basically it lives in the applications folder in my MacBook. You open it up, and here's a little icon. You can click on that, and that'll start uDIG up in your computer screen. So here is when the application opens, they actually start you off with different tips. So that's one of the kind of user-friendly parts about it. You can, they give you like a little tip of the day. You can close it if you just want one, or you can click through it a couple times and get a few others. So when you first start it up, you'll get kind of a screen with a couple of different windows, and they call it the workbench. This area is the map screen. This area is the layers. And then up here is where you can like save different projects. And then down here they have a couple different tabs, including a catalog, which works really similar to ArcGIS. You can actually, click in your different folder paths, and then you can actually just drag and drop it. Well, this is just the PowerPoint, so I can't do that. But you can drag and drop that into the legends. And then you also can add it through, the layer, and then there's also an icon where you can add different layers. So that's lots of different places to add it, to get used to how to add it. So here is just a step how to add a shape file. So when you say add layer, it asks for the data source, and then here I chose files, and then you just click on next, and it'll help you navigate into your desktop or into your jump drive or wherever you're at, and now you can get your click on your different shape files. It will only open supported files, which are shapes and raster data as well. I think they offer TIF or TIFFs, and then other supported files too. So here I just added a shapefile of the Great Lakes, And you see below here is, if you click on table, you open the you can open the attribute table, and here it's kind of a clear, easy way to see your attributes. This only has 5, but that's just one of the places you can click on your attributes. And then right here is, if you click on that, and then there's like this little paint, like artist palettes, that's what you could click on to change some of the coloring and the way that the symbology is displayed. So here's they offer a color wheel. You can click on that. So I didn't want green anymore for the lakes. I wanted to change it into more of a blue, so you can kind of work through that. And then the next shows, I wanted to add the label of the name of the lake to the lake, so you can just click on labels. So that's pretty easy to do. I do think the user interface is a little bit easier as far as the symbology goes than ARC maps. So here I changed the lake to blue, and it's labeled Lake Michigan. Another neat feature to the user friendliness of it is you can search the attribute table by this little search bar here, and it'll actually select it. It selects it in yellow. So here I searched the streets, Cook County Streets layer for State Street, but there's a lot of State Street. So there's words with state in it. So State Road came up, and some other things. But you can see that they're highlighted kind of in that yellow. Here's a selection for Roosevelt Road. I just started a new project where I am doing some work, Roosevelt Road to State Street, so I was trying to kind of work on boxing that off. But here is that selection, if you can see the Roosevelt Road, and that was done through the search bar. And then what's even nicer is you can actually, if you have like a lot of data and you're looking for a specific thing, you can set the field as well as searching for the specific name. And then you can actually zoom to the selected, and I think that's a button up here. So that's kind of a nice feature too. So I don't know if you can see this up here, but this is that window below that was like halved before. You can see that here. There, you can make it a full window right here. And it offers web data. So here's the web data here. I have a little urban sound right now. So here is the web data. They offer a web service where you can download different shapefiles as well as raster data from natural earth. I was able to download some nice data with elevation points as well as some national parks. So different shapefiles came up pretty easily. There's also a place to do raster data, but for some reason when I unzipped the raster files, it didn't work. So I did find I have a little bit of problems with the using some of that imagery from the Natural Earth's website. But there is a place to report a problem, and there's different ways to contribute to making it better. Another nice thing is they have another service kind of similar to ArcMaps, Base Maps. They have this thing called Mapnik, and that is in the uDIG platform. You can add that data, and it's basically a nice map, base map that has different elevation points as well as roads, and kind of just more of a topographic look at the different parts of the world. So that's something kind of similar to ARC where you can kind of bring that in to your data. This is a picture of Death Valley. So I decided to do a project on bike routes to farmers markets with the uDIG software. So I added a shapefile of bike routes. So that's something I had from some previous class, as well as I have that Lake Michigan, and I have just a shapefile of Chicago. And then I added a farmer's market layer, and I changed the symbology, or I changed the symbology to these crosses. I have to say they don't have that much symbology, so that's one thing. They had like dots and triangles, and you could put letters in there and some text, but they didn't have like a lot of different symbology. Now, there might be other plugins where you can get more symbology, but I wasn't able to explore that yet. But here I've changed the farmers markets to be Sunday through Wednesday, all the different days of the week of the farmers markets. And here is a nice feature for kind of making the map a little more readable. One, you can add a legend, which is up here in the map pull down. And that'll just put in the whatever you have in your layers file. And then you can also highlight your what you want to really pop out. So in this case, I wanted the days of the week of the farmers markets to pop out, so I know when I'm on my bike down to the south side, I can hit this Wednesday farmers market, and then maybe on a Sunday, I'm going down Milwaukee Avenue, I can hit this Sunday market. So that's a nice thing about it. And then the Mylar effect just makes it easier to read. So just a few pros and cons about uDIG. A pro, it's free, obviously, and it's easy to use and install. It operates on Mac and Windows computers. It uses shapefiles from GIS programs such as ARC and Quantum. It's pretty easy to add files from other projects. Like you can toggle between those projects pretty easy using that catalog. So that's, I think, a pretty nice feature of it. The user-friendly interface for changing the symbology, although there isn't a lot of symbology choices, it's really easy to change things and make a nice map. And then the internet-supported base maps are nice, just that, you know, you have that as an option. Some of the cons, there was some data glitches with that natural world data that, you know, is a little disappointing. I did want to try putting in rasters, so I wasn't able to do that. There are more complex geospatial analyses that are possible, but I believe you have to do add some more applications. And I did try to add one, but the file was corrupted and it didn't work out. So that's something, you know, we have to I'd have to explore more to say, but I think overall it's something that might be a con against it right now. I think you'd have to do a lot of your geospatial analysis in ARC, and then maybe bring the shapes or the different layers that you saved, and then you could use it in uDIG to view. Again, I said the icon library is limited. So as far as my main point at the end, I think it's best, uDIG is best used as a viewer, right? And maybe the heavier GIS spatial analysis, ARC is still probably better for me. But I think if I get more familiar with it, this is definitely a good resource. And also that if you do a lot of work on ARC and you need to view it or show it to somebody who can't afford the ARC licenses, this is a really good way to do that. Thank you, and try out uDIG. It's fun.